Okay, so we got John Highland. Did I get it right this time? Yes, you did. Awesome. And so we've got southwestcashflow.com. You really need to look at that website because they've got a lot of good properties on there. John, thank you. Where'd you come out from?
Virginia.
Virginia. So thank you very much. Try to look this up and see if we're
Roanoke, if I remember
oh,
right.
and while we're
Close. Good evening.
Yeah.
No.
Close.
okay.
Well, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello. Well, I'm from Virginia, so Virginia we say, how y'all doing? I'm John Highland. I'm the acquisition manager for Southwest Cash Flow. Our speaker is stuck in Phoenix right now. There's some kind of heat wave going on or something. Gifford is not here, but that's okay. I'll do. I'm the guy that actually buys a lot of the houses for Southwest Cash Flow, and we're a huge wholesaler. We're in 8 states, soon to go to 18, and we are growing by leaps and bounds. When we started Southwest Cash Flow, you can go to our website. The website, well, let me ask you guys, are you guys more interested in flipping or renting? Let me see, flippers. How about renting? How many of you ever heard this saying, rich people say both? What if I can give you a system where you can flip and rent, so you rent until you flip? Would that be okay too? Doesn't that make sense to have instant cash flow instead of waiting until something flips for you? We mainly do investment homes. I'm going to just talk about Wilmington real quick. One of the states, we're in what are called super priority states. Do you guys know what those are? No. When you get a super priority lien, that means you can go in like the IRS can, and you can get rid of all the other liens. Has anybody ever bought a tax lien? Yeah, I'm not talking about that. It's too long and too difficult. So what we do, this is Dan's.
I know.
Yeah,
Same
so
one.
what we do is we deal with hedge funds, and they go in and buy properties, and they have what's called a super priority lien, and then it goes through something called quiet title. How many of you have ever heard of quiet title? And then what's really amazing about that is it works. I'll just show you, the other thing we do is called clustering. This is a list of our homes. It's just moving by itself, Jordan. I don't know why. Did you push play on a slideshow or something? That's okay, I'll just keep going back.
Is it playing?
It's really weird. Can you fix it? So what we do is, we do something called clustering. And when you cluster, what happens is, you actually make your own market when you buy as many homes as we do. And we use the heft of all you all to purchase homes, not in bulk. We do it one at a time. But we purchase in areas where we can actually make the market. So one of the areas, and we love beach towns and resort towns, so one of the areas is Wilmington, North Carolina. You guys do? Yeah, you gotta do something about it. I don't know, it's gonna screw me up real bad and I only have 27 minutes left. By the way, our time is gonna fly by here tonight, so I've gotta hurry. I'm used to speaking for 3 days, not 30 minutes, so I get a little long-winded. What clustering does is very easy. When you go in and buy in bulk, what do you think happens to the price of the house? It goes down, right? And so we buy so many homes, so many in so many areas that when we cluster, the price of the home that we purchase, that we buy, goes down. But here's what happens: when we sell them, what happens? They go up, right? So now we get to make our own comps. And by clustering and going into an area of clustering, you can really, really jam it on getting comps. So for instance, these were a list of our homes, and you can tell they're very close. And once we sell one home, the first person that gets in gets the best deal, but the last person that gets in gets a really good comp also. So everybody succeeds. The other thing, the reason why we go to a place like Wilmington, they have a housing shortage of 5,800 units. And I heard somebody talk about quadplex. You guys like quads? I love duplexes and quadplexes because if one person stops paying the rent, guess what? You probably have somebody else paying the rent, so you're always constantly getting cash flow. And so we do a lot of quads, a lot of duplexes. And if you can go, can you make that stop or
yeah, something's wrong with it.
It's Dan.
Because it's not.
While you're waiting, I'll ask you a question. Are you doing clustering? Are you causing false bubbles?
No. No, because there's, 5,800 homes, we're doing maybe 200. So we don't even have 10% of the market at that point in time. And we do such a variety of homes, which I wanted to show you here, if you can get this working. It really is an amazing system. Like, one of the cities we're in is a little place you might have heard called Phoenix. And how many of you folks have heard you couldn't get properties in Phoenix right now because all the hedge funds are in there? How about Vegas? That's another city where you can't get homes there because you got BlackRock in there and everybody else trying to do homes, buying them hundreds and thousands at a time. How about Tampa, Florida? Same thing. So we're in the cities, and the reason why we go into the cities is something, and I want you to write this down if you're taking notes. It's a great thing to write down. It'll really help you in your rentals and buying your properties, called price to rent ratio. Price to rent ratio. And HUD comes out with a price to rent ratio of the top 8 of the 10 markets for price to rent ratio in the country. What it means very simply is you buy a house very low and you rent it very high. And that gives you a great price to rent ratio, which really allows you to get more bang for your buck and get a better return for your investment dollars. The other reason why I like a low price to rent ratio is your risk goes way down because you can always sell the home based on cash flow. And on cash flow, a really easy way to sell a home is like this. If you get $1,000 a month in rent, then you can pretty much, and this doesn't work in California, it doesn't work in a hyper market. On $1,000 a month in rent, we just add 2 zeros and say that the house on a cash flow basis is worth $100,000. Now we have an office, Southwest Cash Flow has an office up in Newark, just below Fremont. You guys know where that is? Yeah. And I have a client there, he paid $500,000 for a home last year, and it only rented for $2,500 a month. So if you add two zeros to $2,500, his home's only worth $250,000 in the market rents ratio, right? Well, his house went up 20% last year. So he made $100,000 just sitting there collecting $2,500. How many would like to do that? Yeah, you're not going to. It's not going to happen. That was last year. That was the best year ever in the real estate market, right? 24% in California. Do you think it's going to repeat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends
Okay.
on where.
How many more years?
2.
2. Okay, I agree with you. 2 to 3 more years, you're probably going to get 10 to double. Can I say double digit? Would that be okay with you guys? Yeah. And I remember I had a guy come up to me in San Diego one time and say, "John, I bought too soon." I said, "When did you buy?" He said, 1989. Did he buy too soon? He hit a bubble in '89, but it was a bubble that didn't even compare to 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Was it? And so what happens is, if you understand that real estate ebbs and flows, and it cycles, and it does everything that you want it to do if you're in the right time. Right? If you're in the wrong time, if you buy at the height of the market in 2007, what happens to you? Or 2008, you're dead, right? You're done. So a lot of people lost money in those years, and now people are making a ton of money. I'm going to show you why we make a ton of money. Did you finally fix it?
I'll be here with you.
That's great. That's fine. So this is a house we bought. This is Montgomery. This is a before, and this was a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath. So what we did, we come in, go ahead, turn it. We had 400 square feet. Now we have a 3-bed, 2-bath house. And it's just, everything's brand new in this house. The roof, the siding, the windows, everything. When we do a house, we do it with permits, we do everything. The next house is 11th Street. And you can see it's pretty nasty. Nobody would want to live there. It's boarded up. And, it's just generally in disrepair. And it also takes the neighborhood down. And then our company comes in and we fix it up. We do a lot of veterans housing. The veterans get special financing. How many of you guys knew that? Yeah, so they get special financing. If they've had a foreclosure in the last 2 years, it's wiped away. Any vets in here? Yeah, so if you know a vet that has a foreclosure or bankruptcy in the last 2 years, it's wiped off their credit report, and they only have to come up with as little as 3% down on a home. So what we do is we have some really cool stuff, and I have some white papers I can give you guys. I usually have them with me. I can email them to you. But this little house right here literally goes for $99,900 and rents for $800 a month, which is incredible.
That's not a quick clarification. You don't mean they had a foreclosure with a PEA loan?
No, any foreclosure for the vet under the new house banking rules, they get it taken off in 2 years. It's amazing.
Even a VA loan?
Yeah, even a VA loan. And here's the thing, even a bankruptcy comes off their credit in 1 year now.
Wow.
1 year. So that has some special things. But remember, they have 23% unemployment right now. So at 23% unemployment, let's say you're in Hawaii, you're a vet and you bought a house in 2006 and you just retired and you haven't been able to sell that house. Well, you're host, but you had to do it because of the country made you move, right? So they give them special things. This is 7th Street. And this house was actually purchased by one of our investors for $149,900. I want to show you this because this is what it looks like. This is what we call a gula house. This is in North Carolina. There's a couple 100,000 of these type of houses. So what we like to try to do is find a quintessential home that will sell very quickly that we fixed up 85 times, right? So go ahead and switch that board. And that's that home in progress. It's beautiful. That's it finished. And then I'll show you our kitchens and stuff. I just want to show you the kind of work we do. This is the kitchen in the home. It's just spectacular. Everything's brand new in the home. Plumbing, electrical, HVAC, roof, siding, windows. You name it, it's new. All the surfaces are new. And then do one more. Let me see what comes up next. This is a house that I found for $232,500. This is near a country club near the water in Wilmington. And the reason why I'm showing you Wilmington, because I didn't have time to show you the other 7 cities, but we do the exact same thing. But I'll just show you this. This is why I bought this home. It's a beautiful home that looks like something out of Southern Living, but if you can't read this, it says 520K, 499, 700, 399, 2 million, 1.75. This is the same street, folks. 475 and 550. What did I buy the house for? 232.5. So right now I have the cheapest house in the neighborhood. Do you guys get this house is worth, when it's all fixed up, about $550,000? So if we can buy right, we can put a lot of money into the fix up of the house. And in this particular house, the budget's $130, so we'll have $350 and we'll sell it at anywhere north of $500,000. One more little thing when it comes to quiet title and different things, these HOAs have a lot of power. So this home used to come with a boat dock. The boat dock was valued at $70,000. Okay, what are boat docks here worth on the waterways? A lot, right? So what we can do is go to the HOA and say, hey, we know you took the boat dock back, which was totally your right, because North Carolina is a super priority state. They could have said, actually, we'll take the whole house, right? If they're the HOA and the HOA fees weren't paid.
Yeah.
And so instead, they just have a little CCR that they get to take the boat dock. So we actually have an agreement with the subdivision, the HOA, the homeowners association, to buy a boat dock for 35 grand. If our owner wants us to, the person that actually buys the home, the end user. And we'll sell this right on the MLS for well over $500,000. So I want to show you Vegas too. I want to show you a couple more things. This is a house called 9563 Magnificent Las Vegas. This is a typical home that we buy. And I'll just flip through a couple more. I've got 10 minutes left, believe it or not. Did he start late? Yeah, he started a little late. This is 5764 Field Breeze. And then do a couple more, George. This is Lingering Breeze, 5946. And we own all these. Southwest owns all these. And I wanted to show you how we value a property, just so you understand that we know what we're doing when we buy our houses every month. When we look at this, we put everything in there, 3-bed, 2-bath. This is typical for us. We always went to 3-bed, 2-bath because we're typically going to rent this. And this is 1,377 square feet. If you can't read it, the lot size is 6534. It has everything new. It's a pretty new house. The annual taxes, and get this, you live in California, is $1,420. Insurance is only $480. And then the management fee is 10% of the rent, which is $115. So everybody get that? So the rent's $1,151 a month. I want you to understand this because I'm going to blow your minds here in a second. Because if you get what I'm about to tell you, you're a millionaire. It's just a matter of capital and time. When we do this, we get lots of comps, and I can't read them, Jordan, but I can do the. Can you read them off there?
Yeah,
it's
right there, on the right.
It's on the right. That's the square footage price.
It's on.
I can't. It's too light. Anyway, the comps are very good, and as we sell this house has a list price of $134,900. Our client, and the fair market value is $135,169. Does everybody see that? And I can show you this later in person if you guys want. what we do is we literally sell this at 80% of value. So you can just do the math real quick. 135 times 80 is about $106,000. So you can get a house in Vegas. It's pretty new, and the year built's on here somewhere. I can't see it, but it's pretty new, and you can get a house for $106,000. The cash flow is $11.51 a month. So you guys can do the math with management, and there's probably an HOA fee and a small insurance fee. So I was on vacation yesterday at the beach on the East Coast. My wife doesn't fly. And we've been married 24 years in a row because I kind of listen to my wife, right? I tell everybody in a row because they don't believe me. But who would stay with me for more than a minute, I don't know. But she stayed with me for 24 years. I actually tell people 24 years in a row because I was speaking in Texas one time, and this big dude comes up to me and says, John, I got you beat. And I said, what do you mean? What do you got me beat for? He said, I've been married 25 years in a row. I said, that's great. And the people started clapping. You know, there was 300 people in the audience. And he said, to 3 different women. I've been married to the same woman for 24 years in a row. Is that okay with you guys? So I listened to her when she said she doesn't want to fly. We drive on vacation. But then I told my wife, I said, I'm going to Santa Barbara. And you know, you guys, where do you go on vacation? How do you leave this place? I don't even understand. You live in the greatest place on earth. You guys realize that, right? It's the greatest place on earth. I mean, can you name any other place that's this beautiful? Look at this audience. Half of you are very beautiful. Female half, right? Yeah. Man, you guys look good too. I'll tell you. It's funny looking at the audience. People think when you're speaking in front of an audience, they don't think the audience members don't think the speaker can see you, but I see everything. Go to the next one. I want to just show. I wish we can get these comps. Why are those comps so light up there?
I don't know.
Can you do that thing so it does it itself? It's like it was doing it itself. I just want to show real quick because we really let the Mac possessor do it. Yeah, I know it's still not in there. I promise you, there's comps in here. What we do is we find comps, and we get the square footage price, and then you can see this is $58 a square foot is what you're going to pay for a property. Try to do that any other way. Try to buy a house any other way. Okay? And it's really incredible to be able to do this. Let me do one more thing on the bottom. I want to show you something. Now, if you were going to buy this house, it's $400,000 from us at fair market value. You would pay 80%. Now here's the big question. Who has 400 grand in here to invest in a house? You know, cash. Not a lot of people, right? So this house rents for $2,600 a month, $2,596. What we do is we believe in these houses so much, and the equity in these houses, we actually do, and I want you to write this down, something called non-recourse financing. So we finance the houses ourselves. That's how much we believe in these houses. So what we ask you to do is put 30% down. So on a $400,000 house, you're going to do, fair market value is $400,000, you're going to pay $320,000, and you're going to pay 30% of $320,000 on a down payment, or about $90,000. And then one more slide, Jordan. I'm going to show you our interest rates are really good. It's simple interest. Hey, Jordan, I need that one more slide with the amount of payments. So we have simple interest of 8%, 7%, and 6%. Just so you know, if you go to a banker right now and you try to get a loan on an investment property, you're typically going to be paying 4 to 5%. But if you don't pay that banker, what's going to happen to you? What happened to a lot of you during the downturn? They're going to come after you and make your credit get dinged. This is a non-recourse loan. That means we're lending on the value of you or the property? The property. We really care less about you on that part of the deal. We care that your checkbook gets better, and so what we do is offer really good rates. It's 6%, and I know you're going to ask me, John, how do we get 6%? Our average client buys 4 homes a year from us, okay? So if you'll just buy 3 homes and be a little below average, we give you 6%. See, in America, there was this dude, this philosopher from Greece. His name was Archimedes. And he said, give me a big enough lever and I'll move the earth. How many ever heard of Archimedes? In America, we have a philosopher. His name's Mediocrities. Everybody wants to be average or a little better, right? Well, I'm telling you to be a little below average. Pay 6%. And on a mortgage of $320,000, your mortgage is only $1,650 a month. Remember, the house is cash flowing at $2,600 a month. So who are we basing our loan on? You or the house, the property, right? And then what we do, we're full key, turnkey. We find the renters, we fix the houses up, and we manage the renters. And the 8 states we're in, we're expanding to 18 states. Some of the states are Washington State. Anybody ever want to buy a property up in Seattle? Washington State, Arizona. We're in Arizona, Texas, and Nevada, very strong. Georgia, Virginia, Florida, South Carolina. And then we're in Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio. Our company's based out of Ohio, by the way. That's why we're in Ohio. I don't recommend Midwest properties unless you're going to be in a very landlord-friendly state next to a university. A lot of our houses we put next to universities and hospitals because the nurses and the medical workers and the students are the best renters, because we get the students' parents to sign on the leases also.
Yes.
So we're in Notre Dame. Have you heard of Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Do you know when a school wins a national championship, their applications go up 25% the next year? And we saw that Notre Dame was going to go 10-0 last year, so we bought a whole lot. We've been in South Bend for years, and it's a great university town. Wilmington has one of the fastest growing universities in the country, and of course UNLV's in Las Vegas. Any questions for me? Because how much time do I have, Dan?
You got about 5 more minutes.
Oh, great.
I got a question for you.
Yeah, go.
Do you do any 50-50 joint ventures where you have the investor go on the deed and you're on the deed too? Do you ever do that?
We do. We do that a little different on our flip houses. We'll have the investor put the money up where they and Southwest are on the deed, and then we do all the work for them. They provide the financing, and it allows us to just really use the heft of our audiences to do a lot of flipping. And then we split profits half and half.
So that's on a quick flip, but not on the long term.
Not on the long term, no. We've got too much to do. On these properties, they go on it themselves, they sign on it, their company can sign on it. We really don't, it doesn't matter to us if your company puts the money down or you put the money down. There is a $2,500 quiet title fee, and when we get title insurance, it takes from 4 weeks to 12 months to get the title insurance. When we get it, there's a title insurance fee, and that's it. And you can get into a house very inexpensively. The cash flows within 4 weeks, or it's cash flowing right now. And we don't guarantee that, but we're really good at getting renters. When we cluster, we do an open house, and if you go to our website, you can see some of our model homes. We'll bring 200 people into a model home. We take the top 10, and we find homes for them.
Question. So you sell these houses after they've been refurbished, or after they've been?
Yes, or during. It doesn't really matter.
And the other question, do you do month to month on those, or do you lease them?
We rent them out. On the rentals, we rent them, but most of the flips we just flip them, we
Do
don't
you
rent
do
them.
leases on those, or month to month?
A lease. Yeah, we do a year-long lease or a 2-year lease. But by the way, veterans housing is 1 year, 2 year, or 42 months. So that's why I love renting to veterans. They'll sign a lease for 42 months. The government typically pays that lease. You've all heard of Section 8?
Yeah.
Oh, there's veterans housing. There's 26 voucher programs in the country, and we've niched into veterans and battered women and prisoner release programs. Which your state's releasing 35,000 prisoners this year. You might want to look into it.
Now, you're the acquisition manager,
Yes.
right? So if anybody in here was to look for properties in the places that you do work, they might be able to work with you on possibly flipping a property to you to go into your program. Is that at all possible?
Yeah, we're always looking for good house deals. I gotta tell you, we could typically buy them cheaper than you can sell them. So that would be probably pretty tough to come up with better prices than what we're getting right now. We're just crushing it for our clients. If you want massive success on flipping, you deal with us.
What's your minimum investment?
Well, that's a great question. So we just had a condo in Vegas that was $28,000 that sold to one of our clients. 30% down is $8,500, and it rents for $675 a month. So if you have $8,000 or $10,000 or $12,000, you can buy a house with us. And that would be a condo. That wouldn't be a single family. But condos rent really well in Vegas. We rent them to dealers and different people that are cash buyers. I have one client. He only rents to dancers. You guys can figure that out later. He gets paid in cash and other things, it's really funny. And he has a thriving business, let me tell you. The dealers love condos because they like to go home, they like to sleep all day, and they deal all night, and they're a special breed of people. How many of you have ever been to Vegas?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, by the way, Phoenix is getting hot again. If you don't know, we've got houses coming up in Phoenix that will knock your socks off. Our houses are beautiful, they're spectacular, and they're typically rent pretty new within 10 years.
What other markets are getting hot?
Tampa is amazing. We just got an order for 1,000 houses in Tampa. So if you were one of our clients, you would sell to those people. My favorite markets right now, Utah is a fantastic market. How many have ever been to Park City? We buy houses in Park City. It's booming over there. It went up 8% last year. It's up 8% already this year. That's really good, by the way, for a flip house, because we're buying so far under the market. I call Utah, Phoenix, and Las Vegas the Golden Triangle. The only reason why I don't throw LA and Southern Cal in there is because it's 400 grand a unit here.
Overpriced.
Where in San Francisco, 600 grand a unit. Do I have time to take one more question, or should I get?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You follow the gas trend, natural gas trend, Pennsylvania.
Yes, thank you. That's great. In Cleveland, they hit gas.
Yeah.
And Northeast Ohio is booming right now. The unemployment rate's less than it is here. And so what they did in Cleveland is they tore down a whole bunch of homes, so they have a real housing shortage now. So we are in Northeast Ohio. I don't like Northwest Ohio. They haven't struck gas yet. Cleveland's a really funny city. You used to go in and you'd apply for a permit and they'd say, you want, you know? And now you go in there and there's a new governor and overnight it changed. Mr. Highland, how can we help you? What do you need? We want your business. It's really amazing turnaround.
Speaking of hitting gas, North Dakota, are you hitting?
No, but Williston's a great place to invest. The problem is you can't find land, but we're looking really hard. We're typically in resort areas because I don't know if you know, like Wilmington, every builder in Wilmington's out of business from 6 years ago. So we own the market there. And it's the same in Savannah. How many of you have ever been to Savannah, Georgia? It's really cool. I like going not in the historic district, but right outside of it, and we cluster right there. Because you know eventually the historic district becomes a Victorian district and then becomes a historic district. So if they envelop your house and you got a rental in there, it's going up at least 50 or 100 grand if you do it yourself. Just by being there and knowing about it. I've really enjoyed my time with you folks today. Have you enjoyed your time with me? Yeah. I tried to make you laugh a little bit, but it's hard. It's laid back. So we have some appointment sheets there. If you're interested in getting some of our 30% down properties, come fill it out. Tell us about yourself. We'll try to meet your needs and really invest in your success so you can have massive success, because we're going to sell 1,000 homes this year. It might as well be to you guys. And by the way, I've met with every living HUD secretary since Jack Kemp. If you know what the HUD secretary does, the guy in the office right now, Sean Donovan, is very sharp. And in the last 4 years, we've sold 1,500 homes. And we would love to help you buy and sell homes. We can do it, and you'll make money. That's all there is to it.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Now, this is going to give you a chance to go up there and talk to John and Jordan, because we're going to take a quick little break. Those of you who want to talk to them, go that direction. Those that want some more wine can go that way. I have wine.